Okay guys, welcome to episode 2, and in this tutorial we're going to basically look at pushing the lead out, okay? So body movement and pushing the lead out. So what I do personally for lead setup, I've got the pivot in the arm as we talked about before, I've got the arm on the top. I try to position the lead right onto my hand at the end of the day, so I have it on my hand. At the beginning, would put it just above, okay? And I'll tell you the reason I would put it just above, if I'm honest, is when you're practicing, sometimes that lead can come round, and if it hits your knuckle, it can hurt, okay? So for that, with safety in mind, for this demonstration, what I've done is basically gone through it with you so the lead's just to above to stop the chances of injury, okay? So basically what I'm gonna do now is this. I've got the lead out like that. We've gone through the beginning position with my foot placement. So I've got it from number 1. So we've got 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right? I'm gonna do that same position in here, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is basically position myself so my body weight is turned. So I'm looking at the lead. Now, if I stand on the 12 o'clock mark up the top of the clock, what I'm basically doing now, between 3 and 6, halfway point, I'm looking at sending that lead out at that angle. So the 6 o'clock mark's right behind me, the 3 o'clock mark's there, I'm looking at putting that lead out that side there. With the lead, this is where it becomes difficult, and a lot of people watch the video and that don't get to see the gist. So what I'm going to do is, a bit later on, I'm going to put my Evercam on to pick up the lead swing in that for you so we can overview it. So basically, I'm going to load the lead out like that, let the lead drop, right, and I'm going to come through like that, right? It's probably not the ideal position where I am because I've got a back slope, so it's sloping backwards. When you've got that, you've got no option but to basically bring your lead up a bit more up the rod, okay? So I'll start again, bend my knees in position, right? So I'm looking at pushing that lead out. So I'm pushing the lead out, let it drop, turning, okay? See that? Do that one more time. So the lead is basically, my arm's dropping out. Can you see that? Do that in slow motion without the lead in place. So, what I've got here, arm position out like that, lead, okay? I'll come a bit closer now so you can see it. What I'm doing is dropping the tip of the rod, right? And then basically bringing that tip out, right? What that does is that allows the lead to go up, right? At that point then, as the lead goes out and it starts going up, I'm basically pumping down, right? So as you're pumping, you've got to control the lead with that left hand. And I'll show you one more time, okay? So basically what I'm doing is this. I'm not doing nothing with that hand. That hand's just the pivot. It's all done with this hand. So the rod tips up, I'm bringing it out. That's all performed with that hand, that left hand. That left hand is doing everything there. Do it one more time, okay? So basically, out, that's pumping it. This will be the hardest thing for those who have never done it before to pick up. And I remember when Adam was running it through with me, the worst thing I'd done was ever had a form of knowledge of casting before I started. Because what I'd done is, because the way I was casting before, I had a very long drop, and my lead sometimes on rock marks where I was fishing would come beneath my feet. That bad, because I had room off certain rocks where I could do it. The longer drop I had, the better. And as I would come around, it would completely come off the tip. And I used to get good distances, but nowhere near to what I do now with my fishing. And it's for the simple reason that it's not just the tip bending, it's the midsection of the butt bending as well. When you're using rods like the T1000s, T1200s, the M427SUs, even the T900s, they're very, very powerful rods what need to be loaded in the correct manner, and especially the 900 with the glass tip. I mean, if you don't load the rod correctly and you can't casting off the glass tip, it feels absolutely horrible. As soon as you start getting into the midsection and loading that rod correctly, it's a serious bit of kit and the complete work of art. So we'll go through it again, guys, so we know, okay? So I'm going to bring the drop up slightly again. As we said, we've got a back drop. If you've got flat field to practice in, ideal. If not, I don't want you to cast. You do not need to cast, okay? What I really want you to do is simply go down to the reel, keep the reel locked on, get a thummy, put a thummy on that finger, or if you're using a finger stool with a fixed ball. And then what I want you to do is get yourself into position as we've done in number 1, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, bend your arms, right? And practice this. It's like this with the arms, okay? So I'm basically dropping that rod down like that, pumping with that left, okay? That there it's all done with that left hand. That right hand's a pivot, okay? If I could just basically put that there like that now and not hold on, right? Let's see if I can do it. So we're gonna go out swing, in swing, okay? Let's go to show, I'm not even holding the rod there, I'm waving at you, see? I'm literally holding that rod as a pivot. It's all done with the left, guys. This is the most important bit about this, it's left-hand side. So out swing, see that? All to do with the left-hand side. You've got to get that lead left in play. So as it comes out like that, about the sum again, timing. That's what I want you to practice. That will be the key to success, okay? There are a few points that you can pick up, okay? And what Adam done to me, he didn't get me doing it straight away, and he basically got me to improve it as I was going over for the weeks when he was teaching me originally, okay? And it was the simple fact, and I'll go through it with you at the end, what the tweaks you can make. And it's all to do with tweaking different things. And the main thing of it is the lead speed. Lead speed is what it's all about. If you can get that lead speed and you get that technique right, you will get distance, okay? It's all to do with lead speed, guys, okay? So we'll do it again. Out swing, let it drop, bang, okay? That is the first part of it, of what we're going through. I want you to practice. Is getting that lead swinging, that arm into that position, out, okay? Don't worry about what I'm doing with that rod to the side. The main thing of this, I'll just keep it still a minute, is getting that technique right. Out, pump it with the left, okay? Pump it with the left. See that? I'll stand here again and do one more time, okay? So I'm basically going out, that's left, okay? What you're doing is pumping. It's called pumping. So what I'm doing is bringing that lead out, pumping it to there. The next part of that then is that lead, okay? You want to make sure that lead's going up quite high. And this is going to be the hardest part to film. So when I'm doing this lead up quite high, I'm basically pushing the lead up, letting it go to the hop. So it's basically the rod and the line's vertical. So the lead just comes up past, right? As that lead comes, you imagine that rod being in that position in there and the lead comes up so everything's dead straight. You want that lead to start coming up slightly off of that line you've got going in the air. And when it comes up that line, what you want to do, don't pick that lead up straight away. Let that lead slightly drop, okay? You want it to slightly drop in the sky. So as you start to scoop and bring the rod that way, you've got no tension. You've got the no tension. The lead's starting to drop down, because what will happen then, as you scoop and bring that rod into that position, okay, that lead will basically be pulled down and around. As I'll show you now quickly. I won't go into the next stage of it, I just want to show you what I mean. I'm going to do a slightly longer drop for this, okay? So basically that lead's gone out like that, I've let it go up to the top, let it drop, and I've scooped, right? And what I've done when I've scooped is basically, I'm going to put the lead down in here again for this. So I've basically gone out, right? Now, that's bringing the tip of the rod to the right-hand side. What that's automatically done is basically scooped me down. So it's called the scoop, this part. So you've done the first session, you're going into the position like that, you're into the scoop position now. You're actually in the off the ground position. For any of you that's practiced the off the ground before, when you're off the ground, that is the position you're supposed to be in. Rod tip down and you're looking up, ready to hit the lead, right? But what that will do then is it will send your lead back around to the right hand side of you. Now, this can be very tricky, and I would say at the start, if you've never done a pendulum cast before, be a bit worried. Let it go slowly. Don't rush yourself into this. You don't need to go a million miles an hour to create lead speed at the beginning, right? It's the timing what is the key. If you watch Adam when he's casting, his first bit of the cast is very, very slow. It's like he's got a Ferrari and he's got it in just like 3 miles an hour, just like ready to go. Really, 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 really slow. Okay? So everything's really, really slow. So he'll stand there, he gets himself into his position where he likes to stand, so his own stance, okay? And then he'll basically roll the rod out, rod in scoop, really slow, right? Then, that's the main key now, is timing, right? He'll know his own timing, which he's a master at, you know what I mean? I've got my own timing, and my timing is nowhere near the likes of some of these big professional casters. I'm a fisherman at the end of the day. But, at the end of the day, for me personally, it's about getting a bait out into the water where these guys will practice their art of casting and the timing and technique into going into it. And the main thing for them out of all of it is timing. It's crucial. When they're picking that lead up, they want to be picking it up at the exact timing, which is perfect. So as they're bringing it round, they're picking that lead up perfectly. So as they turn, hit into the cast, that rod is locked in over. You know what I mean? They're bending T1000s, T1200s, M4SUs. They're bending really strong rods, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, guys, there's a difference between tournament casting and fishing casting in the Pendulum. By putting steps and stuff into it, it's all about distance. This isn't about distance. This is about creating the correct technique to get you out there a few extra yards and catch a few fish. I mean, it's something which everybody should want to be able to do within their fishing. Is a pendulum cast. You know what I mean? I, to be honest, it's helped me. I've gone to the tournament fields over the years, and every time I've gone to the tournament fields and put time into it, I've really enjoyed it. I can see how addictive it can be. But for me personally, it's about that. It's about what I'm looking at in front of me, the sea. It's about catching fish. And there's some venues, it's about distance. You need to get out there to the tide lines and stuff. And if you haven't got the ammo behind you to get yourself out in those tide lines, you're holding yourself back. And maybe it might take you 3 or 4 months away from fishing to learn this. The best places I would suggest to go in is casting events, like the Westwood, Sussex, Dorchester. There's many of them around, Surfcast Wales, there's loads of around. 9 times out of 10, loads of the lads that I've ever met have all been really friendly and they're willing to help you out. And it goes to show, because I wouldn't be fishing and I wouldn't have caught some of the fish I've caught today. Not every fish, but some of the fish what I've caught at distance, if it wasn't for the likes of some of these lads, but at the beginning especially. Ian Ford, Mike Benfield, Gareth Davis. I mean, the guys will help me get on my steps with casting. And then eventually, I've got to take credit to where credit's due, Adam. I mean, Adam took me to the side and he over the space of like 8 weeks of hard work, got me in a stage where I was jumping from like 220 towards a 250 mark, you know what I mean? And I think if I stayed doing it, I could have progressed on that. My timing would have come into it and I would have got better distance. But for me personally, it's not about that. It's about getting that lead and bait out there to catch a few fish. And at the end of the day, it's a different sport altogether. I mean, you see a lot of like really good casters and they can cast to the horizon, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's the same as fishing, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean because you can cast far doesn't necessarily make you a good angler. And just because you're a good angler doesn't necessarily mean you can cast far. But if you can get the balance of both of it and you've got it in your armor, you know what I mean? Some of these really big casters and really good anglers, see the fish they get, you know what I mean? It's incredible really to look at it. But guys, that is basically the start up of that. So what I want you to do is basically practice that outswing, okay? Get your hand and put it on a pivot if you want on the back of your arm here. And then basically use that left hand as a pivot. Do it one more time. Well, we haven't got no one here. I'm not going to cast this today anyway. So basically out like that. And then basically what you're doing is using your left to pump, okay? I'll come to the side and do it one more time for the side. So I'm basically in position, got my foot there, 3 o'clock, outswing, out, and then basically I'm coming like that, okay? I'll do it this side here now. So I've got there, 3 o'clock, turning the camera, bang. See that? It's all the scoop. So it's like bang, pump, bang. See that? Out. And that's it. Do it one more time properly, just to get the feel for it so you can see it. Foot positioning, so I'm going to go outswing, outswing. Lead's a bit long for you to pick up and see there. Okay. So we go left hand out, let it drop, turn and into position. It's all about pumping, okay? That first initial part is about pumping. And then obviously once it comes after the pumping then, we'll look at the scoop. Okay, but what you need to be looking at is that pumping method. That if anything's to come from this part of the series, is that pump. It's you need to get that mastered, because that's all it is, guys. As you can see now, I put my arm there again, one like that. So I'm going to do all the left, outswing, bit too fast that time, got a bit cocky. So outswing, let it drop. Okay, that lead's coming right around there then. I'm pumping it out, I'm keeping the arm out and it's in position ready for me to go off the ground. Guys, get down your beach, get down your fields, wherever you're doing, make sure you're safe. Make sure you're using your shock leaders, make sure you're using lead. if you at the end of the day, you could do it with a tennis ball. I would say to do it with a lead because it will give you the better feel of the cast when you're practicing it. And obviously, once you've got that initial start off, you're there, and so you're basically out like that, letting it drop, bang. But the main thing of it, well, I want to see you practicing. Send some videos in. That's what I like to see. Some of the videos and that. Send them all in. We'll get them put onto the page and stuff. And basically, we can obviously go through it. So out, bang, okay? And you're there. So here we go again. So left arm, pump out, drop, lead. That was quicker lead speed then. That lead dropped and then it starts. The more that lead can drop out of the sky, and as it starts to come down and around, because you're positioning your rod from there to there, that lead's automatically coming around then fast. And I mean fast. And then when you're finishing that off, it's timing. You want to be picking that lead up on the outside, which we'll go into in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. Get your videos coming in, and we'll take a look, and hopefully we can get you a few extra yards. Tight lines.